What's up, guys? For this episode of Ego Upgrade is just a quick motivational speech, I guess, or video. I forgot my inside my room, so let me get what my script was, what I'm gonna talk about, and then I'm gonna come back outside. And I'm gonna talk to y'all, and I'm probably gonna reset this whole thing and give a proper introduction. So let's start that. Alright, let me get that lighting. Okay, perfect. Alright, what's up, guys? This is Jusuf from Ego Upgrade, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about motivation and trying to keep everybody motivated and not to give up. So basically, what do we have here? Message of encouragement for those who are feeling unmotivated. So these are for the people who feel unmotivated at the moment. I guess one of my first tip, or maybe this is just a ramble. Take 20 minutes a day to build yourself up. So it's most like a self-prep talk. Right when you wake up, think of things that you've accomplished, goals you've achieved, and block out all negativity and doubt. So whatever goals you've achieved, if you even got associates, you got a bachelor's degree, I don't know, maybe you've reached your fitness goal, you won $5 by playing lottery. Just think about all the things that you've achieved, because as soon as a new day begins, we forget about all the achievements we've made, and we just think about what we've achieved lately, and that can bring us down, and then we leave room for self-doubt. So I've been victim to this many times, but what I'm trying to do every day is build myself back up. Every morning I wake up and tell myself, I'm gonna have a good day. I'm one step closer to my next goal. So I'm working one step closer to my next goal every day. And I'm trying to block out negativity and self-doubt. Like going to the gym, I go to the gym Monday through Friday. And if I take 3 rest days and I come back to the gym, sometimes I feel like I lost all my strength. But, I gotta just keep thinking of all the progress I made so far and build myself up back to that mentality. So we're all on different journeys, paths, but what matters is that we are becoming a better version of ourselves. So I guess that can relate to comparing yourself to other people, which I'm trying to also work on. Sometimes I fall into comparing myself to people who are in the same lane as me. Say you're pursuing to be a lawyer, and one of your friends, he's maybe a year ahead of you, so he's almost taking the test to get for the bar exam, and you still have a year of school. It's best to just think of yourself trying to become better each and every day. So the way you weigh your worth is, am I better than the person I was yesterday? Which I was watching this little speech that Jordan Peterson, a clinical psychiatrist, was giving. I think he's a psychiatrist or psychologist. But he basically says, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And the past me was shy. The past me was a little weak. I didn't have much schooling, so when I think about how I am today, that's how I'm building myself up. Like, you know what? I look in the past and I'm stronger, I'm better than who I was yesterday. So to block out all that negativity, don't compare yourself to someone who's probably in the same lane or who had the same advantages that you had, because you are a different person. You are going to be the best you, and you can't be the best someone else. So for example, I follow another YouTuber who's one of my online mentors, I guess you can say, Elliot Hulse, and I sort of wanted to be just like him. I wanted to have YouTube videos. I wanted to talk about the body, the mind, and how they both relate. And the sort of was a lot of pressure and stress. It was imaginative stress and pressure that I was putting on myself, because every day I'm like, oh, I have to do as big as he does. But, it doesn't really work that way. It works the way that I have to be the best me every day, and tomorrow I'm going to try to be better than how I was yesterday. And whatever I'm working on to accomplish, I'm going to try to accomplish more than that. So it doesn't necessarily mean I have to follow the lane that someone else is following and how successful they are. I'm trying not to compare myself to how successful I can get, and I don't want to compare. I don't want to think about like he got this successful at this age, and I'm already this age, so there's no way I can get successful at that age. It just all matters on where your lane is. And another note that I wrote on was, don't expect others to motivate you, because people will motivate you once they see you are motivated. So sometimes, as another victim of this, I've lost motivation and letting other people's words get to me, where I was less motivated, and then I was waiting for motivation. I was waiting for someone to pick me back up, someone to boost my ego. But it doesn't really work like that. You have to boost your own ego because you're in charge of your emotions. So you just have to think about all the good things that you've accomplished and how you accomplished those things, even if it was something simple as like winning in a video game or playing cards with a friend and you beat them. Like that feeling of accomplishments, you need to use that to motivate you, and you need to create a certain mood, you need to create a vibe. So for example, in the mornings, going to gym, before I go to the gym, I have a little ritual. Like I get up, I put on one of my favorite shirts or any type of shirt, or specifically a workout shirt, and then I put on some jogging pants, I put on some shoes for the gym, and all this gear that I put on, it sort of motivates me, because now I feel like I'm ready to tackle the gym because I have all my gear. Like I'm ready, as like if you were a soldier, you put on your uniform, you have your guns, you have your vest, you have all your equipment, and you feel like you're ready to tackle it, whatever's ahead of you. So to motivate me to go to the gym, like I go in the mornings every day. I just go with the mentality like, okay, I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna however I worked out yesterday, I'm gonna like be stronger than that and like push it out of me. And so another thing I was talking about was avoid those who think negatively or compare you to others, because it's one thing for you yourself to compare yourselves to others and have some self-doubt, and that's going to take you to get out of that hole. But it's another thing for friends or family or even just random people you meet to compare you to others and then bring you down, because then it's like a cycle. They compare you to others, and then you think about comparing yourselves to others, and then you carry that on with you every day. So it's better to avoid the people who just want to compare you to others all the time, or who don't motivate you. If you notice that you have a friend who just, every time you talk about your passion or something that you achieved, and they just sort of compare you to others, like, oh yeah, well I did this in the past, or say like I was talking about, oh yeah, I finally benched 210, and like I've gotten stronger now, and then they say like, oh yeah, I remember when I benched 350, and like that's sort of like a comparing thought. They're comparing themselves to you and trying to be better than you, and then at the same time they're trying to bring you down so you won't reach that 350 someday if that's your goal. So it's better to just avoid those people who just want to constantly compare your accomplishments to their accomplishments, or compare your accomplishments to the accomplishments of others. So basically, just some words of encouragement. I did find myself in a bubble of self-doubt, and I had to write it down, like actually write it down, which really helps. Write down how to encourage others, how I can encourage myself, and it seems to be working. It's the only way that you're gonna get brought out of self-doubt and not being motivated is talking to yourself, sitting down, thinking about like, I need to be motivated, like just sitting down, feeding yourself with motivation and with goodwill, because if you leave room for self-doubt, then it will consume you. So that leaves the last of this video, just some thoughts I wanted to get out. I hope it helped, and if anyone has any questions or wants to be motivated or like has some problems, go ahead and write in the comments, subscribe, and like. Thanks guys, peace out.